Do you want more success, more growth, more results? Then it's time for the Boundless Success Accelerator from the Modern Observer Group. This isn't your average coaching program. It's where top performers come to dominate. Weekly group sessions, on-demand coaching, a community that's got your back, and a power-packed library of tools to supercharge your business and career. No more excuses, no more waiting. Get in, level up, and start building the life you've been dreaming about. Visit us at modernobserver.com/boundless success to join today. Let's get you to the next level.
We're here because the news is being distorted. We're here because people are being inundated with misinformation on social media. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
An attack on an ICE facility, a Ford truck recall, positive economic news, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. At least one migrant detainee was killed and two were critically wounded after a sniper opened fire on their transport van outside an ICE facility in Dallas early Wednesday, according to authorities. The shooter, identified as 29-year-old Joshua John, fired from a rooftop and died of a self-inflicted gunshot as police closed in. FBI officials say anti-ICE was scrawled on bullets found near his body, and a car linked to him displayed a map referencing nuclear fallout zones. No ICE agents were injured in the attack. The FBI is treating the incident as targeted violence, the third shooting aimed at federal immigration sites since July. The U.S. government is on the verge of shutting down next week unless the two parties agree on a stopgap spending measure. Democrats are looking to restore expiring health insurance subsidies, while Republicans want to keep spending at current levels. Meanwhile, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senate Majority Leader John Thune have reportedly not discussed the impasse. U.S. federal spending jumped from $2.3 trillion in 1980 to $6.8 trillion in 2024, inflation adjusted. Social Security, Medicare, and debt interest saw the biggest hikes. Federal spending nearly tripled though the population grew just 50%. The national debt has surged to $37.4 trillion, or about $110,000 per person, with daily interest costs nearing $3 billion. The Justice Department is seeking to indict former FBI Director James Comey for perjury as the deadline to bring charges looms. The probe into Comey centers on whether he lied to Congress during his September 30th, 2020 testimony about his handling of the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 U.S. presidential election. Under federal law, prosecutors have 5 years to bring a charge, with the 5-year mark occurring next Tuesday. The case is being handled by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Virginia. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent warned on Wednesday that if Zoran Mondani carries out his socialist economic plans as mayor, New York City will come begging Washington for a bailout, and he won't give them one. I guarantee you, and there are not a lot of things in life that are sure, but New York City will be coming to the federal government for a bailout if Mondani's plans are implemented, Bessent told Fox Business's Maria Bartiromo. It will be the same thing that Gerald Ford said, drop dead, Bessent said during his interview on Mornings with Maria. Bessent, a Wall Street veteran, doubled down on his warning, saying, you can't enact policies like this and expect to be bailed out. More than 115,000 Ford trucks are being recalled because drivers could lose control of steering, according to U.S. auto safety regulators. A defect impacting certain F-250, F-350, and F-450 vehicles from model years 2020 through 2021 can cause the steering column's upper shaft to detach, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. In total, 115,539 vehicles are impacted by this recall. This means the driver could lose steering control of the vehicle, according to the auto safety regulators. NASA said it's targeting February 2026 for Artemis 2, the first crewed lunar mission in over 50 years. 4 astronauts, 3 from NASA and 1 from Canada, will spend 10 days circling the moon aboard the Orion spacecraft to test systems critical for future lunar landings. The mission will fly farther into space than any humans have gone before, nearly 5,000 miles past the moon, aiming to pave the way for a lunar landing as part of Artemis 3, though experts say the 2027 target for that mission is viewed as optimistic. Final testing on the crew capsule and rocket system is underway at Kennedy Space Center. New home sales spiked 20% in August. Sales of newly built homes in the U.S. unexpectedly jumped last month to the highest level since January 2022, with sales up 20.5% compared to July and up 15.4% compared to last August. That was before mortgage rates started falling, so it could be a sign that price cuts and other incentives used by home builders to lure buyers amid an oversupply of new homes had their desired effect. But the surprising uptick could also be a quirk of the data. Always important to remember, the margin of error for new home sales is large, the chief economist for the National Association of Home Builders told CNBC. Confidence among small business owners has surged to its highest level since 2017, according to an index published by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, even as the broader economy shows weaknesses, including inflation and a softening job market. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth Daily News Brief and our sister podcast, Carnivore Radio, with news analysis and commentary, as well as the rest of the Xvadio Podcast Network at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcast app, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.